Bear here from Marty's Garden on YouTube. Just been out having a look at the garden, getting ready for this next video for you guys. Made myself a cup of tea. I'm still feeling a bit scruffy. I just woke up not so long ago to get this production made because I promised you guys that what I would do is step things up to the next level for people that are interested in worm farming and gardening and composting and creating amazing soils. Feed the soils, not the plants, as I always say. So you can move away from using chemically synthesized products and create sustainable, healthy, pest-free food at home. Now, what I've done is the biggest worm farm ever now has a garden below it. Yep, that big worm farm. If you haven't seen the video, you need to watch the biggest worm farm ever video, and I'll leave that linked up below more towards the end and down below in the comments area. You see, what I've done is, because I've linked them all up and the whole system sort of all flows in together into the windrows and all the worms can move in and out and all that. It's really, really cool. But the thing is, you can do this in any scale you want. Now, I have about 4 of them all lined up together so they can move in and out and move through the gardens and all that type of stuff. But you could do it with just one and build your plants down below. Now, what happens is when you're putting the compost in about 2/3 full into your big worm farm, biggest worm farm ever, I just love that name, right? As you're watering in with good rainwater or dechlorinated water, it'll sump down through and feed out the plants down below. And you can plant all around it. And now you let the plants grow up and over it. You can put a teepee over it. You can put some type of grid around it and let the plants crawl all around it. And then just harvest it. And you've got your own like self-feeding systems. Every time you're watering, all that nutrient that's in that worm farm's going down and out below. And what happens is the actual roots go down underneath the worm farm as well, because there's all water there, and sometimes up into the worm farm. Now, that isn't an issue, right? And I'll tell you why. Because what we want to do is always create this amazing recycled loop. Now, when we're creating these loops, what we're doing is we're not only producing more compost for ourselves, but we're also getting food, right? And so the end product, when we after we've done our harvest and making our compost again, goes back through the loop and nothing's leaving the place. So whether you're doing it as a micro farm like me, or you're just doing it at home and want to grow amazing food, you can do it this way. So what you do is, like at the end, when say the tomato's finished or your eggplant's finished, you cut it off at the base. You don't pull that plant out, right? You want that roots to stay in the system. Remember, we're feeding the soil. By doing that, what we're doing is we're letting all those roots rot again. Might be up into the worm farm a little bit, around in the soil profile. All the compost worms and biology and fungi and everything will come in and eat all that up, just like it does in nature, and turn it back into valuable nutrients for the garden again. Now, what I'm going to be doing is, because this is just a summer garden for me, I'm going to be doing exactly that and just letting it go on again to the next system. You see, I have these windrows going out where I collect my bags, do my bagging for my customers for the farm here, and then I throw the worms back into the barrels and it's moving back into the big worm farms. It's moving around this cycled loop. Now, I've done something even extra exciting. I've added a straw bale garden to the side of it for autumn. Now, for you guys in the US, you may want to do this into spring. So we're building raised beds above the ground using straw bale. Now, you can use other things such as sugarcane and stuff like that. I think it's pea straw and all that, but you've got to be a little bit careful with the other ones. I really like just using straw bales. I've got 3 of them, and they're getting ready to go to be planted out in the very near future. And I'm showing all that in the Worm Farm Wranglers member area. So the Worm Wranglers Level 3 members area, if you want to learn how to do that, that's the next stage of the course. Other than the other 2 courses that are in there, Starting a Worm Farmer Beginner's Guide and Starting Organic Seedlings a Beginner's Guide. This is an extension of that to show you how you could grow amazing food at home in a small space, permaculture, organic style, using compost worms, because the compost worms are going to move into those bales near the end there. But I don't want to share too much of that away because all these worm wranglers that have been getting in there, I've got to have something for them as well. But don't worry, plenty more exciting stuff coming up for you guys too on this channel because, as I promised, more amazing stuff. Now, if you want to implement this, you can go out and get one of those big worm farms, like some type of big barrel with an open lid, cover it over with some shade cloth so the worms can move in and out. Don't worry if they escape and move in and out of the rain. They just go back into the soil profile and back up around. They're creating this loop, right? So you want to have that. You want to have the lid open in the summertime too, because it can get quite hot, and you let the plants grow up around the side. You can trail them, you can train them, you can create your own little TP pyramids, whatever you want to sort of like, and then leave a little opening to get in. There's lots of different things you can do to make this an amazing garden. So in a way, it's like a permaculture underground worm farm, but sort of above the ground, because you bury in around the sides and then you plant in around the bottom. And you could even cut holes in your worm farm if you wanted to and plant into the sides. I haven't done that. I don't want to do that, but I'm pretty sure you could if you really wanted to use that vertical space. Now, let me know what you think about this type of worm farm garden. I think it's next level stuff, and you don't see much like this around, and you can really take advantage of creating that recycle loop for all the waste in your house. It just becomes an amazing garden. You can't really beat that, can you? Like, I think it's absolutely awesome. Let me know what you think down below. I'll keep you updated on it. The rest of the worm farming, the gardening, the permaculture system here, my micro farm, it's all happening here at Marty's Garden in 2021. And hopefully I can follow up to that promise of saying this is going to be the best year ever. Give us a thumbs up down below. Let me know what you think, as I've already said like 3 times, because it's really important to me. I really want to know what you do want to think. Do want to. Now I'm not even making sense. Have a great day. Happy gardening. We'll see you in the next video. Vlog/story real soon. Bye for now.